Beautiful Anonymous is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. You chose to hit play on this podcast today. Smart choice. Make another smart choice with Auto Quote Explorer to compare rates from multiple car insurance companies all at once. Try it at progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Saks Off 5th, up to 70% off every day. Summer is in full swing here at Saks Off 5th with so many exciting trends to try. From matching sets and floral dresses to wide leg jeans and chic accessories, find all of this season's must-have styles. Plus, shop new designer arrivals weekly. Find Gucci, Valentino Garavani, Versace, Stuart Weitzman, and more. Head to SaksOff5th.com or a Saks Off 5th store near you for up to 70% off every day.
Sonesta Travel Pass is the most rewarding way to travel. Sign up at Sonesta.com for instant savings, bonus points, and perks like early check-in and late checkout, room upgrades, and free stays. Choose from 1,100 hotels across 13 brands and unlock their best rates when you book with Sonesta Travel Pass. Here today, roam tomorrow. Join now at Sonesta.com. That's Sonesta.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Hello to everybody who's about to have a certain website name stuck in your head for a very long time. It's Beautiful Anonymous. 1 hour, one phone call, no names, no holds barred.
I'd rather go one-on-one. I think it'll be more fun, and I'll get to know you, and you'll get to know me.
Hi, everybody. I know not everyone loves a long intro. If that's you, you're going to want to skip about 5.5 minutes ahead. That'll put you right at the beginning of the phone call. Thanks. Hi, everybody. Chris Gethard here. Welcome to another episode of Beautiful Anonymous, the show where we explore the human condition, one anonymous phone call at a time. I feel really lucky to be here. I feel so lucky to be talking to you. I say that genuinely. I am sitting in the office that I started renting in part to specifically record Beautiful Anonymous here. And I'm sitting totally by myself, but I get to say that I'm psyched to do this. And I mean it because I know that this is connecting me with tons of people. I know that because you guys listen. The feedback is there. The people in the Facebook group are there. The people who sign up for our extra stuff each week at beautifulanonymous.com are there. And if you don't know about beautifulanonymous.com, the quick rundown is you get your episodes ad free. You get extra time with the caller every single call. And then on top of it, if you're at that upper tier, you get occasional follow-up calls with past callers. You get a secret phone number once a month that is only for the people at the top tier. It's fun. It's a lot of great stuff. We also, of course, put out a magazine, and that went to everybody who is subscribed, and we've been selling the leftover copies at chrisgethard.bigcartel.com. Thanks to everybody who's been ordering those. Last plug I'll say is I've been hosting a variety show in New York City. We also stream it online. It's happening on June 25th this month. There's still a bunch of tickets left in New York City, which is so wild to me because the show usually sells out. And the lineup on this one is insane. We've got my friend Anthony Atamanik, who's doing a deep dive impression as RFK Jr., which is wild. We've got Stephen Castillo, who's one of my favorite comics and who has written, in my opinion, all the most interesting stuff SNL has done in recent years. Stephen's fingerprints are on it. Ethan and Gigi, who are renegade anti-fascist clowns. Mike Weiss, who is a strongman clown who can rip license plates in half on stage. This is real stuff. Kenise Mobley will be there, who's one of my absolute favorite comics. It's a real fun show. Joy on Fire does the music, and they always bring the heat. I really just hope you'll go to ucbcomedy.com, grab a streaming ticket, or if you're in New York, come watch it live because that is very fun. And of course, punchup.live/Chris Gethard is where you can find those tickets. Also, I'm going to be doing some stand-up shows up in Vermont in the fall. And I think by the time you hear this, those tickets will also be at punchup.live/Chris Chris Gethard. Thanks so much, everybody. Oh, also Dylan Adler's doing the show. I mean, everybody this month is so goddamn great. I'm so psyched about it. It's going to be such a good time. Okay. This week's episode, I think you're all going to love it. It's a really great combination of there is serious stuff happening. Also, there's such specifics to it that it's hard not to laugh. Although there are times where I feel bad giggling, as the caller explains the specific websites that are involved in this. But I mean, there's infidelity, manipulation, a bunch of things along those lines that you're going to want to watch out for. And if those are things that are hard for you to hear about, they come up in here. There's talks of kink and fetishes, but also about those things affecting relationships. And at one point, is it kink shaming? And at what point is it deception? And where do you draw those boundary lines of how to figure those issues out? It's an episode that I will not soon forget. I think you will enjoy it as well if you're a fan of the show. I think this one has so many elements of things that we like around here. Some serious stuff in the personal life, but also a caller who, even though this caller is in the thick of it and has experienced pain and loss, has an undeniable energy and sense of humor. There's also the sub storyline of this. There's been a weird, over the years, you start to think, for some reason, raccoons come up a lot. On Beautiful Anonymous, there's been an outsized recurrence of conversations about raccoons. This one doesn't have raccoons, but this one, I think, establishes another thing that has come up time and time again, spread out over 9 years. Marching bands. Someday, years in the future, when Beautiful Anonymous is a thing being analyzed and is no longer actually around, when it goes the way of WTF, shout out to WTF, the original OG podcast that taught a lot of us the power of this medium, and it recently announced its ending. When this show someday goes the way of WTF, they will say it was a show that you could say was about raccoons and marching bands, based on the number of times those were undercurrents to episodes. Anyway, enjoy the call, everybody. Thanks for listening. Thanks for supporting. If you're not at beautifulanonymous.com checking out our bonus stuff, I think you're not getting the full experience. We work hard at it. Enjoy it. Thanks.
Thank you for calling Beautiful Anonymous. A beeping noise will indicate when you are on the show with the host.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
It's the afternoon where I am. You've just given me crucial hints about where you might be.
Oh, no, it's also the afternoon where I am. I just only say good morning.
You only you only say good morning as a rule?
Yeah, I don't know when it started, but now it just feels too awkward to say like good afternoon or good evening, so I just don't.
So 11:30 p.m., you'll say good morning.
Oh, yeah. Anytime I like start talking to somebody for the first time, it's always a good morning.
I got to say, that's one of the most genuine big belly chuckles ever to happen that early in the course of an episode.
Surprise, Sade. That's all right. How's your day today?
My day's been relatively good. That
wasn't very convincing.
Well, here's the thing. It's that yesterday I taught some workshops at a college in upstate New York. So I drove like 5.5 hours in the morning and then another 5 or so hours at night and taught in between. And the teaching was lovely, but I used to be able to be like a real road warrior who could get stuff like that done, no problem. And I hate to say it, but I've now hit a point, just basic life-wise, where I go, ooh, if I drive all day on Thursday, then Friday I'm gonna be tired all day. Like I don't bounce back like I used to. So I'm feeling the wear and tear of a long travel day is the honest answer. How are you?
That's valid. I'm pretty good. I actually did just wake up, but it's okay.
You just woke up.
So I'm just chilling.
Are you a young person?
Young-ish. I'm in my 20s, but I'm a teacher, and so I'm not doing anything right now, and so I kind of just sleep when I want, and then I wake up when I want because nobody's dependent on me. So
I love it. So how long? Because today's my son's last day of kindergarten. So how long has your school been wrapped up?
We've been wrapped up since let me look. I've been out of school for 3 weeks.
And what grades do you teach?
I get ready for this. I'm a band director.
Love that.
So I teach 5th through 12th.
You said 8th through 12th?
5th.
What is really going on when the teachers get summer break? Because it sounds like maybe Canadian, but I'm thinking American.
Interesting observation. So I don't know. During summer break, we don't do anything. My mom was a teacher too, and so I just grew up around teachers not doing much. But it's kind of just time to chill and relax.
Well, what I love is that in New Jersey right now, as you and I talk, it's 2:22 p.m. on Friday, June 13th, which means that in California, it's 11:22 a.m. And to hear that the teachers sleep till at minimum 11 a.m., but maybe as late as 2 p.m., I love that.
A couple of days ago, I slept until 4.
Do you stay out all night and rage? Are you staying up all night partying now that you're not in school?
Oh, I don't know. That's kind of my worst nightmare. I would rather just sit in my house. I have a dog, and so I sit in my house with my dog, and I have plants, and I do things around my house. But I just have a really weird sleep schedule, so I'm not really a rager. There are teachers who are ragers, just not me.
Okay, you just do what you want when the school. What time do you when you are working in the school year? What time do you have to get up?
It changes between the spring and the fall, but in the fall I have to get up at 6, and in the spring I get up at 7. And I'm rolling out of bed to get to school because 4. I don't like waking up.
You wake up at 6 a.m. I gotta say, they sit here and they say, oh, it's so hard to get teachers, and teacher retention is at an all-time low, and burnout is at an all-time high. And I get it. But here's a part of it.
It's the best part. Not really the best part, but it's a great part.
Who the hell wants to wake up at 6 a.m. every day?
Oh, yeah.
And you're probably waking up late by the stairs. There's definitely other teachers listening right now who are like, I would kill for 6 a.m. There's teachers getting up at 4:45, 5:15 every day.
Most of the people that I teach with are awake by 5, but I can't do that. I don't function in the morning, so
right there.
That doesn't work.
That's why you can't. That's why teachers burn out. They never get to sleep.
Yeah. Honestly, the hours aren't that bad because I adjust in the school year. It's good administrators versus bad administrators that kind of make the job good and bad. So, but I don't really mind waking up when I need to.
Can I ask you an honest question about being a band director?
Yeah.
Are there, and this is all anonymous, are there any instruments that consistently attract more shithead kids?
Yeah, absolutely. Ask any band director and they'll say trombone and then percussion.
trombonists and percussionists are dickheads?
Oh, yeah.
What
The
are
trombone
the
players, they're just the most out there.
So I want you to walk me through what the common personality traits of trombonists are.
It's kind of funny that I wanted to be on the podcast because I'm really bad at words. But I feel like to describe trombone players, usually they're just like a big dodo.
So just big goofballs.
Yeah. They like farts and they want to make dinosaur noises, and you just never quite know what's going to happen in a day with the trombone.
So you're saying that people who have an affinity for trombones also have an affinity for farts and dinosaur noises?
I guess so.
And what's up with the percussionists? Is it fair to say that in the world of band nerds, percussionists are the jocks of nerds?
Probably. Everywhere I've taught, that's kind of been the same little group of people. They're the most rambunctious because they're the only ones who aren't stuck in a chair during rehearsal, and so they just try to get away with more.
Do you do marching band as well, or just band in the band room?
I do both.
I remember I joined marching band my junior year. I did sideline percussion. Most of this was because legitimately all the girls I had crushes on were in either the band or the color guard. I didn't have to march, so I had to go to less than half of the rehearsals of the other kids. But I noticed that the drummers would be, at least back in the 90s when I was in high school, the most comfortable showing up in like aviator sunglasses and a t-shirt they ripped the sleeves off themselves.
Oh yeah, still the same. Absolutely.
Like the drummers,
and now they also come with wireless headphones.
Oh, they're coming in with the wireless headphones. These drummers, I noticed, they seem to think that they're like they got like Tom Cruise energy, but they're really landing a lot closer to a Gerard Butler energy, and they don't want to admit that.
Yeah, it's a little embarrassing, but it could be worse.
Yeah, everything could always be worse. I have to keep telling myself that lately.
Yeah, Ooh. We agree politically, so yeah.
Good to know I'm on safe ground. Now, on that note, I've been going into schools the past few years teaching my comedy workshops. And one thing that I notice is that it seems to me that the infrastructure of education is hanging on by a thread in a way that if people truly knew, they would be very, very scared. Would you agree with that?
I would. Yeah. There's a lot of sketchy things happening in education right now, and a lot of concern. But I feel fortunate that I at least don't teach a tested subject, and so I have a little bit more creativity in my lessons, and I get to have more fun with my students, I think, and make more of a positive part of their day rather than I'm forcing knowledge in your brain. So
it actually
I at least get to have fun in my job.
There, and I have to imagine that the value of that for the students is really high, because especially kids who maybe are so focused on achievement, test scores, grades, achievement. The arts might be the one point during the day where it's about coming together for teamwork. That's not about winning. It's about communing with the other people, connecting with the other people. I have to imagine you sit here and you think reading, writing, arithmetic, and there are some people that go like, well, why would we spend money on the arts in schools? And you go, the arts might be like the 45 minutes where kids get to release the tension and pressure that comes along with the rest of it. You might be a real safe haven for a certain type of kid, I bet.
The arts are the reason that kids come to school. So if they're not showing up, then they're not going to learn the rest of it.
Look at that. Have you ever taught a student who, as soon as they start playing, you have an oh shit moment, like they're a virtuoso? It's a solid no.
I don't know. I've taught a lot of students, so I'm trying to think if anybody. I mean, there's definitely kids who I'm like, you just get it. You could go really far if you work for it, but I don't know that I've had like the next Yo-Yo Ma or anything yet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still pretty early in my career.
How long have you been doing it?
I just finished my 4th year of teaching.
4th year. That's nice. So you're not a rookie anymore. You're not one of the grizzled veterans yet, but you're far from a rookie.
Yeah, I'm starting to like kind of think I know what's going on some of the time at least.
You think you're going to stick with it long term?
Definitely some progress. You know, I've had a pretty wild teaching career. And so there were points in this year I thought I was going to leave this year.
What's been so wild about it?
Like for my first year of teaching, the headband director got fired in October, and then they replaced him with the tennis coach.
And I want to be clear.
And so
the headband director, not the director of headbands.
Correct.
You said it a little quick, and it sounded like you were saying the headband director, which I have to say, if a headband director got replaced by a tennis coach, that sounds like it would be appropriate, because oftentimes people wear headbands while playing tennis.
Oh, definitely.
The headband director being replaced by a tennis coach, that sounds a little more unusual.
Yeah, it was kind of wild. And in that school district, we were in lockdown, like, I think I was in active threat lockdown like 7 times during the school year.
Lockdown?
So it was a pretty intense.
Lockdown denotes to me like, hey, an intruder's in the school, or we think there might be potential violence in the halls. That's what my assumption is, gets to a lockdown point.
Yeah. So like the worst one was a guy with weapons who was off his meds being chased by cops right outside the band room.
Yeah, it's not good.
And best case was like students who are in the special needs classes with weapons. So,
what was going on in the special needs classes with weapons?
Just a student or two. I don't remember who they were, but there was at least one, and another one who concerned me. But they had weapons, and so they would like threaten the school resource officer, which is the school cop, or like they'd be running down the hallway with a knife, or had guns in backpacks a couple times.
So you're at a public school?
Yeah.
That's really scary. Kids with guns in their backpacks, kids with knives. That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah, it's kind of a lot.
Are you in Are you in a rural area, suburban, inner city? Are you in an area where there's gangs?
So that school district, my first year of teaching, was in a very rural area. There was just a lot of generational poverty there. I don't think gangs were necessarily prevalent, but definitely a lot of generational poverty and a lot of struggle.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was my first year of teaching.
Oh, that was your first year.
I was only in that district for 1 year. I decided in January of that school year that I was outie.
Yeah, that's amazing that you stuck with teaching at all. If you weren't still paying off student loans, you would have quit.
I'm going to be so honest. I haven't started paying my student loans yet, and I don't know how I've gotten away with it, but the government hasn't come knocking on my door. So
good on you. That's awesome.
Probably need to get on that.
That's good.
Yeah.
Good on you.
Yeah. And then the story that I told Andrea, that was why I almost quit teaching this school year. So it was like 2.5 years. I was in this relationship with this boy, and we were like, all in love and whatever. And then last summer, he like went to my parents' house and asked for my hand in marriage. So like, things were really trucking along. And then in September, I got this random "Hey girl" text, and he had been on FeetFinder, and he had gotten that girl pregnant.
Wait, he'd been on what site? Or what app?
For toes. He liked feet. Surprise.
Feet? Did you say FeetFinder?
I sure did.
Wait,
Yeah.
I hate to laugh. I'm so sorry I just laughed. I'm so sorry that the laugh escaped. I can't pretend it didn't, so I'll own it. But
Listen, it's really funny to me now. It really wasn't funny that couple of weeks, but now I'm like, what the hell, man?
so you were, it sounds like not engaged, but sort of pre-engaged. Did you know he had gone to your parents and asked for your hand in marriage?
I did. Yeah.
But he hadn't yet popped the question.
No, he hadn't. He said he had the ring, but I didn't really believe him.
But he did talk to your parents.
Yeah.
Looked your dad in the eye. I want to
I
be
was
your
like-
son-in-law. I want to marry your daughter.
Oh, yeah. After all of the stuff came out about him, I thought my dad was going to go to jail because I thought he was going to go beat him up. My dad is not a violent person by any means, but
How truthful were you with your dad about FeetFinder?
I don't really remember because it was kind of a wild time. I got really, really drunk that day, but I do know that I was fully honest with my mom. And so I think my mom told my dad.
So then your mom's going to your dad like, yeah, I don't know, he knocked up some girl. I guess the guy's real into sucking toes. And he got so horny sucking some random girl's toes that he got her knocked up.
Yeah.
Did you
That's
know?
some crazy shit, huh?
Yeah, it is. Thank you for sharing it. Did you know he had a foot thing?
Nope.
So he wasn't even
It
sucking
was
on your
news
toes?
to me. No, he had a whole like fake Snapchat account, and he was just doing some really not good things the whole time. I didn't find any of that out till it was done, but
What other stuff have you found out? Let's pause there. Because when you're already finding this much out, asking a person, what else did you find out, is a powerful question. We'll get that answer and more when we come back. Summer is right around the corner, but between beach days, weekend getaways, and backyard barbecues, your to-do list is not getting any shorter. Remember how you got that patio set and you promised you're going to build the whole thing by Memorial Day? Well, how'd that go, right? What about that grouting tutorial you watched? Have you gone and actually done the grouting? That garbage disposal, it's been making a sound since 2024. Enter TaskRabbit, your secret weapon for a carefree summer. TaskRabbit connects you with skilled taskers to help with moving, mounting, furniture assembly, home repairs, and more. Many taskers are available to help the same day. Why wait? Why wait for you to do it? When you're a busy person, you can get a tasker who can do it instead. If you want to get started, go to taskrabbit.com or download the app. Search for the best tasker for your job based on cost, skill set, availability, and past client reviews. After that, you schedule a tasker. It can happen as early as the same day. And once the tasker has completed the job, simply pay, tip, and review all on the convenient TaskRabbit app. Taskers have assembled over 3.4 million pieces of furniture. They've done 700,000 home repairs, completed 1.5 million moves, and more. Plus, with TaskRabbit's happiness pledge, if you're not satisfied, they will work to make it right. I have been using TaskRabbit for many, many years. I have been incredibly impressed and satisfied. I can think of so many times. The number one thing we've used TaskRabbit for is every time we've moved or every time we've painted, when we need to hang everything and you got to go figure out the right size picture hangers for the right weight and then get the right wire and then make sure everything's at that right height. We realized at a certain point, hiring a TaskRabbit person to come in and do the mounting just means you have somebody who's an expert, who's done it 1,000 times, who can come in, immediately look at what your dealing with, save you a dozen trips to the hardware store to get the right types of stuff. Absolutely has saved monumental amounts of time. I also know that TaskRabbit once saved my butt personally so hardcore. We ordered a dishwasher. Our dishwasher broke. Our then 4-year-old boy managed to destroy it. Long story, but we had family coming over. Company delivered the dishwasher, but didn't install it as they said they would. I said, let me jump on TaskRabbit. When I tell you, we got someone there day of on a holiday weekend who installed this thing before any family arrived. And I sat there and went, that is the magic of TaskRabbit. Just having a tasker who got there day of holiday weekend. I'm going, oh my goodness, we're about to have family over. And there's a giant hole in our kitchen where the old dishwasher used to be, and about to have family people staying with us and no dishwasher. Ooh, this is going to be bad. It wasn't bad because a tasker came through. I said, TaskRabbit is legit. These are all experiences I have really had going back years before they ever advertised. 2 huge thumbs up from this guy. TaskRabbit is great. Tackle your to-do list today. Get 15% off your first task at TaskRabbit.com or on the TaskRabbit app using the promo code Anonymous. That's promo code Anonymous at TaskRabbit.com for 15% off your task. TaskRabbit. Book trusted help for home tasks. I'm not big on trends, but I am big on clothes that feel good and last. That's why I keep going back to Quince. Their lightweight layers and high-quality staples have become my everyday essentials. Quince has all the things you actually want to wear this summer, like organic cotton silk polos, European linen beach shorts, comfortable pants that work for everything from backyard hangs to nice dinners. The best part, everything with Quince is half the cost of similar brands. By working directly with top artisans and cutting out the middlemen, Quince gives you luxury pieces without the markups. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes. I use Quince. You should use Quince as well. My Quince sweaters are incredible. I get compliments on them every time I wear them. My wife shops at Quince. If you've been listening for a while, you know I never, ever bring my wife into it unless it's 1,000% certifiable and true. And she absolutely swears by Quince. Quince has changed the game, given me confidence, and not just confidence in the clothes I'm wearing, confidence that I'm buying my clothes through a company that has good ethics, morals, and is trying to do things the right way. Stick to the staples that last with elevated essentials from Quince. Go to quince.com/beautiful for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/beautiful. You'll get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/beautiful. Thanks so much to everybody who supports the show. Now let's get back to the phone call. What other stuff have you found out?
Oh, it all has to do with the toes. Toes, I don't get it. They're so gross. But he, on his Snapchat account, he was actually, I don't want to get him in trouble, but I guess they already kind of know. So, he was a graduate teaching assistant at a university, and he was trying to get pictures from undergrads without revealing his identity, and he was paying his students.
So he had an anonymous account and was trying to get nudes from his own students?
Yeah, it was pretty sick. So dodged a real bullet with that one.
Did he get caught on that one?
I ratted him out, and then one of the girls told me that she went to the university and told them. So.
That's good. Now,
yeah.
I'm going to ask a question that it sounds insane coming out of my mouth, but I'm asking seriously. If he had come to you and been like, hey, I'm really into feet and I want you to stick your toes in my mouth or, rub your foot on my crotch to get me horned up before we do it, would that have been the worst thing in the world?
It's just not for me. And I probably would have steered him in the direction of finding somebody else.
It sounds to me though like
No,
I get it.
no shame. Like, I'm not here to kink shame. Like, that's your business. But
Yeah.
it just, he should have been honest.
Well, it does strike me that perhaps hearing that he was on FeetFinder, but then also hearing that he was sending these anonymous messages to the undergrads he taught, you sit there and you go, what aspect is the actual addiction? Is it the foot thing, or is it the actual secrecy itself? So who knows the psychology of all this, but
Yeah.
when that comes out,
It's okay. I think he's going to go bald.
I don't really see any need to slam him on that one.
It just checks out. He was so obsessed with his hair. It's okay to go bald.
I'm
but
just saying.
It's just funny.
He's out here sucking on
I
toes,
know,
picking up undergrads. So, and I get that there's going to be anger there, and I get that baldness is traditionally a thing to make fun of a guy for, but, there's more to a guy than his receding hairline. Let me just say that.
Yep, there sure is.
So this means
So anyway, that was kind of wild.
Well, you get the hey girl text.
Yeah.
I imagine she's reaching out because this has hit pregnancy level. And maybe before she was also someone with he's into feet, she's into having her feet worshipped. She realizes that she's the other woman, but there's something exciting or titillating about that secrecy, and then it crosses over into pregnancy, and it's the whole house of cards is falling down. She goes, what am I doing? I need to reach out. She reaches out to you. How much does she tell you in those initial texts?
Well, she answered every question that I had, because I don't know, I was probably like digging myself into a hole, but I felt like I needed to know everything to be able to process through it. And so I was asking like dates and, how they met and all the whole shebang.
Is that when you find out about
with it.
When you're like, how'd you meet? Is that when she's like, well, there's this thing called FeetFinder?
Yep. Mm-hmm. It sure is. Yeah.
And then you at some point have to confront him.
Oh, I didn't really confront him so much as send him a text that just said, go to hell. And then I never talked to him again.
So you never said, I know about the FeetFinder thing?
Well, I shouldn't say never talk to him again. I didn't talk to him again the whole rest of that day.
Mm-hmm.
A couple days later, I did start responding, but yeah.
All via text, or did you ever get on the phone?
I think it was mostly through text, but I got drunk and I don't remember a good old chunk of hours, so it could have been a phone call.
It sounds pretty earned. I just feel like if I was in that situation, I would want to be able to hear their voice and see as much of their body language as possible when the phrase, I know about FeetFinder, was said out loud.
I should have done it. But
Damn.
It's too late now. Shoot.
Damn.
Yeah. So I almost quit teaching after that, just because there was too much happening in my life. But
yeah, I bet.
I got into therapy and found myself a healthier relationship, and it's nice. It's a good change.
It's good. And you said you're in that healthy relationship now?
I am.
Have you talked with this person about any of their potential fetishes to make sure they know that they should be clear communicators up front about it?
Oh yeah, we agree very well.
What if your new partner was also into feet? Would you?
He is not.
Okay, good to know. Good to know.
Yep, I made that boundary very clear.
Good on you.
Yeah.
Boundaries are very important, and I'm glad you're setting yours. That's good. That's good.
Thank you. Yep, I started after the whole feet boy thing. My dad calls him toe sucker.
Your
After the
dad,
whole
your
toe
father
sucker
calls him
thing,
toe sucker.
I don't call him by his name anymore. You call him toe sucker. But I got into therapy after that, and so that's been a good journey. My shrink would be so proud of me for talking to you about all this today. I'll have to give her a call later.
That's good. I'm glad. I'm glad that casually talking about it feels like a positive that your shrink would approve of.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, I'm glad you're still standing.
What do you like to eat?
Wait, we're just going to jump to what do I like to eat? We're going to go from my ex sort of fiance was on FeetFinder.com and got a girl pregnant to what do I like to eat? I don't know, pizza, bagels, everything bagel with cream cheese. Did he have the baby?
Well, I didn't. No, she got it. She got rid of it. Sorry she had to go through that, but she got rid of it.
Yeah, she's got to be taking stock of the situation and going, this is a guy picking me up as a side piece on FeetFinder. I want to look up FeetFinder, but I don't want it in my search history. You know, FeetFinder. Oh, wow. Buy and sell feet pics. Foot fetish pics. FeetFinder is the safest, largest, and easiest website to view, buy, and sell feet content with millions of users
did this man even go to
five-star reviews.
Did he even get on like the second link on Google when he was searching, or did he just search and find one and done?
I mean, there's a lot of FeetFinder stuff. Let's see. Is FeetFinder legit? Oh boy, why did I click on this link? So
I'm glad
it's
we're
not
having
even
this bonding experience together.
Well, it's not. That's fascinating too. So it's not even aimed at being a Tinder type site. It's more buying and selling feet pics, which means he was probably buying and selling a bunch of feet pics, and then somehow found out that this person was located close enough for an in-person meeting, and then it leads to somebody getting pregnant. I anticipate he spent like at least $1,000 on FeetFinder. That's your estimate?
I want to say more, but he was a broke college kid, so that's kind of my estimate.
Damn.
I know he spent at least hundreds, but if he admitted to hundreds, then it's probably at least 1,000.
But listen, this is, and then we'll get to other topics, but like, I can't help but have to note that there is something like you were like pre-engaged, which also means you do get the satisfaction of knowing that at some point he like ran into some friends who were like, oh, how's she doing? And he had to be like, oh, we broke up. Oh, what happened? And then he had to decide whether he was going to tell the truth of like, I wound up knocking up a girl I found on FeetFinder.com, which sounds so fake. It sounds like something you would say in sketch comedy. I accidentally impregnated a girl I met at FeetFinder.com. That's your real life, is something that sounds like an honestly overwritten joke. Like, oh, that's too on the nose. Nobody's knocking up people they meet on FeetFinder.com. But that's your reality. And he has to tell people that. And then if he doesn't, that's where your victory is either he's telling people that and friends in his life are like, what the fuck is FeetFinder, bro? And then he has to explain all of that. Or he dodges it and pretends that's not the real reason. He's like, oh, things got complicated. And like, he's therefore there's some recognition of like, nah, you can't be like, I'm not one to kink shame, but come on. Like, there's a difference between being into feet and meeting somebody on FeetFinder.com and taking things so far that you have a pregnancy.
But you get pregnant.
Yeah, like there's like honestly
It's so bad.
There's honestly 100 different points where you could have pumped the brakes on that one, you know? Like going to FeetFinder.com, you're like, I really love my girlfriend. I shouldn't be on this feet site, but I know in my heart she's not into feet, so I'll justify it myself. Maybe just like some feet pics will help me with my foot fetish thing. Okay, you managed to justify that one. All right. Oh, this person actually lives not too far. I should probably avoid that one. No, there's the temptation. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. These feet are real close to me. Ooh, I'm getting even more into it because I know these feet be close. And then here comes the fateful moment where you send a DM to a content provider on FeetFinder.com. You're making this personal. You're now having a personal one-on-one conversation with somebody from FeetFinder, and we're now starting to flirt with the idea. Do you know if it was a relationship or did it continue to be transactional? Did you ever find that out?
We met at least 4 times. I think he never admitted that I existed. Like, he talked about his previous exes, but never once talked about me to her.
Oh, so she didn't necessarily know that she was in between a relationship.
No, she got onto his Facebook, and I was his Facebook profile picture. Or, like, we were in it together. And that's how she figured it out. Like, come on, dummy. I will say the best 2 people I got to tell about FeetFinder was, first of all, his mom.
You told his mom too?
Second of all, yeah.
Did you reach out to her, or did you get a call one day that's like, why? You're supposed to be my daughter-in-law. And then you get to be like, your son fucked a girl from FeetFinder.com, got her pregnant. And the mom was like, oh, my bad. Yeah, I won't ever call you again. Was it like that?
The day after, I sent her a text and I was like, hey, just wanted to let you know, cheated on me and got a girl pregnant from FeetFinder. Thanks for welcoming me into your family. Love you, miss you, bye.
You sent that text to his mom?
Yeah. She liked me more than him. Shit.
I got to say, one of the bigger differences generationally is that you're content doing any of this through text. I want to see his mom's facial expression as she processes the phrase FeetFinder.com. Also, I'm going to go ahead and say it. We've already set the Guinness World Record for the most mentions of FeetFinder.com on any individual podcast episode. And I don't think we will ever be
honestly topped. Let me have the sponsorship right now.
Oh, I need your permission right now. Not even permission.
No.
Your direction. If the kind folks at FeetFinder.com reach out and want to sponsor Beautiful Anonymous moving forward, you have to tell me whether or not it's okay. And listen, if you're finding this from FeetFinder.com, just listen up, because we're going to learn together. And if our caller says no, please don't. I don't need more reminders of FeetFinder.com on my favorite podcast. I will respect it. So don't put me in that position. But if you're like, make that money. If FeetFinder wants in, make that money, Chris. I'll try to make it happen.
Get that bag.
Get the bag.
But also, okay. Oh, get the bag, but don't name the episode after FeetFinder. That's the only catch.
Thank you. Because I will say I was absolutely going to.
I know, but listen, that can't be what my episode is called. You got to come up with anything else. Kid.
Okay. What if the episode is titled "We Can't Name It FeetFinder"?
Shit.
Do you want to just not have the word FeetFinder in the episode title? Because that's fine.
It's anonymous. As long as nobody knows who I am, it's your business.
Anything but FeetFinder. That might be the name of the episode. FeetFinder.com, get at me. I have permission to get that bag. I do a really good host read.
Listen, I told the girl that got like the pregnant lady, I even told her, I was like, look, get your bag, girl. If he's offering you money after I broke up with him, you get your bag. Like, that's not my business.
Weird question. Did you only meet her over text?
Yep. I have no idea what her name is.
So you've never seen her feet?
Oh, absolutely not. I don't like feet. That's him.
There was a part of me that's like, yeah, we did get coffee and she was wearing some open-toed sandals. And I do have to admit that if you're into feet, she was pretty enticing. Can't deny it.
So the good news in this situation is that we lived like 5 hours apart because he was in grad school. So I never had to, cross paths with him again.
Yeah. How did you know it was true if you only texted?
She sent me screenshots of their conversation, and she also sent me pictures of his cat, and I'm like,
oh yeah,
that's his brand new apartment that he moved into 2 weeks ago that I haven't been to yet, but I know that it's his new apartment because all his stuff is there, and that's his cat. So yeah.
Okay. Once you get pictures of identifiable tattoos and a cat, Yep.
Yeah.
So sorry to tell you, your man's been going on FeetFinder.
It's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, I'm sorry you had to go through. All jokes aside, it sucks. How long ago was it?
September.
Okay. So we're coming up on a year.
Yeah.
You got a new partner. You feel like you're able to trust again?
We're still working through that in therapy. I think I've reclused myself a lot, and I'm not as good at being vulnerable anymore. And I'm just paranoid a lot more. And so I'm trying to kind of work through that with my shrink, and so I don't fuck things up. But I don't know. We'll see.
It's reasonable.
He's really nice, and he takes good care of me, and it's a lot different than Little Feet Man. So.
And if your guard is up a little bit, I'm sure the new partner understands why after all this stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's been very understanding, thankfully. I didn't go into this relationship thinking I wanted a relationship, but here we are 4 months later. So, yeah.
What if you were like, he's the exact opposite of my ex. He's super into hands. Man, he gets off on hands.
Listen, I could do hands. I could live with hands. Feet, not so much. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Every time I've said the phrase, it's fine, everything's fine, it's been a major indicator that nothing is fine.
Hey, that's what my drink says. That's okay.
I'm glad no wonder you're sleeping till 4 p.m. If you've been dealing with that all school year, you deserve some sleep and some recharging in a big way. The idea that you're dealing with this, and then sometimes you're sending texts to his mom and your mom, and then your dad's trying to find the guy and kill him, and you got to worry about your dad, and then you got to interrupt it because it's oh, God damn it, the Piccolos are having more internal drama.
It was a really rough few days, but...
Who are the biggest divas? Who are the biggest divas in the band? What section attracts the most divas? Let's pause there. Getting into the real nitty gritty. All the marching band heads out there, I know you have your answers. We'll hear what our caller's answer is when we get back. Delete Me makes it easy, quick, and safe to remove your personal data online at a time when surveillance and data breaches are common enough to make everyone vulnerable. Delete Me does all the hard work for you. They wipe you and your family's personal info from data broker websites. They know that your privacy is worth protecting. Sign up and provide Delete Me with exactly what info you want deleted. Their experts get to work from there. I use Delete Me. Delete Me has been a massive, massive relief in my life. If you've been listening for a while, you've probably pieced together that there have been a few situations where I have realized it's not safe for my personal info to float out there. Now, these data brokers are out here. They're constantly trying to get your info, suck it up into the web, disperse it to people who want to pay. These people have bad intentions at times. I have been amazed to see that Delete Me, they go back in. Anytime they get my info and put it back, they find it, they pull it back down. They're working hard. I really trust Delete Me. I'm telling you, I've personally seen that they set the bar high. Also, we'll put out here, not trying to exploit recent tragedies in any way. And I'm sure the people at Delete Me are not as well, but you look at political events of the past couple of weeks, there's people who their addresses are online, and there's bad actors showing up at their houses. You go, this is scary stuff. We are living in a world where the amount of info that people can find at their fingertips can lead to disaster and tragedy. It's not cool. And I have to say, I'm so happy that Delete Me is out there putting in the work, helping people maintain their privacy. It's harder and harder to do these days, and I have personally benefited and felt my safety and my family's safety increase because of the fine work that Delete Me does. Take control of your data. Keep your private life private. Sign up for Delete Me. Now at a special discount for our listeners, you get 20% off your Delete Me plan when you go to joindeleteme.com/beautiful and use the promo code beautiful at checkout. The only way to get 20% off is to go to joindeleteme.com/beautiful. Enter the code beautiful at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/beautiful. Code is beautiful. You get into bed, you turn out the lights, and if you're like me, you got to quiet down what's going on inside your head, right? Falling asleep's not easy when you're thinking about the items you didn't get to on your to-do list, when you're thinking about how sleep went the night before, good or bad, when you're thinking about how early your alarm is set for. There's so many reasons to toss and turn. Well, guess what? Boll and Branch sheets help you quiet all that noise. They wrap you in a softness so extraordinary your body and mind effortlessly drift to sleep. Is that a hyperbolic thing to say? It is not. Good sheets help, and I've been sleeping on Boll and Branch products for a while now, and it really helps keep me centered, keep me focused, look forward to sleep, and make sleep an easier process. Their signature sheets are made with the finest 100% organic cotton, so you can spend every night in the softest feeling imaginable. These best-selling sheets feel buttery, breathable. They get softer with every wash. You can discover the difference with Boll and Branch's 30-night guarantee. I sleep on Boll and Branch sheets. I sleep under a Boll and Branch waffle blanket. It's absolutely a game-changing experience to have the bed be this space where I feel like it's something I can just safely melt into and let my worries go because the sleep experience is so positive. Also, they're not messing around. When you wash these sheets, they keep getting softer, which is wild. And the waffle blanket was killing it for me in the winter. And now that the summer's here, it's equally killing it. I've never experienced a blanket that absolutely lands in the strike zone of what I need in multiple seasons in this way. Really great products. Boll and Branch products are made different so you can sleep better at night. Woven with the finest 100% organic cotton on earth, crafted by artisans who earn the pay and respect they deserve. Signature hemmed sheet sets. They have designs and colors for every bedroom style and mattress size. These all-season sheets have a breathable, unmatched softness to start, and they get softer with every single wash. They're the perfect foundation for Boll and Branch's airy bed blankets, cloud-like duvets, so much more. The percale hemmed sheet sets, those designs and colors, similarly, every bedroom style, every mattress size, specially made with a cool, crisp weave. You will never sleep hot again. And there's a 30-night worry-free guarantee. You can try Boll and Branch's sheets for an entire month. There is no catch to that. Wash them, style them, feel the difference for yourself. Risk-free. If you don't get your best night's sleep, send them back. Full refund. Feel the difference an extraordinary night's sleep can make with Bowl and Branch. Get 15% off plus free shipping on your first set of sheets at bowlandbranch.com/beautiful. That's Bowl and Branch, BOLLANDBRANCH.com/beautiful to save 15%. Exclusions apply. See site for details. Thanks to everybody who supports Beautiful Anonymous. Now let's finish off the phone call. Who are the biggest divas? Who are the biggest divas in the band? What section attracts the most divas?
The clarinet, no doubt.
Clarinetists?
Oh yeah, no doubt.
What makes them? That's kind of a goofy instrument. Why do they act like divas?
I don't know. They're all very sassy. I love them. I love them to pieces, but they're very sassy.
But how can you be sassy divas when your instrument sounds like this?
I like the impression. Very accurate.
Thank you so much. I actually was pretty proud of it.
There's some good jazz. Good jazz. Yeah, I don't know. They're very spunky. But
what section of the band attracts the type of kid you want your own kid someday to date?
I will not be having children ever.
Fair, but theoretically.
But if for like my bestie's kid, I would want her kid to date like a French horn player or a bassoon player.
A bassoon player? What are the qualities of a French horn or bassoon player that you think make them very good to date?
So when you're placing kids onto different instruments, there are like specific ones that you start on as beginners. And then there are instruments that we call color instruments. So it's like the French horn, euphonium, sometimes, not always, oboe and bassoon, and sometimes saxophone. And those are the kids that are usually your smartest, most responsible kids, because they're starting a new instrument after they've already played another one. And so like they just have to be like the top tier kids. So that's definitely who I would pick.
Are the sideline percussion
What do you think
kids...
I play?
Oh, great question. Let me finish this one though. Are sideline percussionists in general just kind of lovable fuck ups?
Sometimes.
Well, there's two sides of sideline percussion. Because there's the really, really smart nerds that play like vibraphones and stuff like that. And then there's the dude like me playing the gong and the big bass drum.
Playing the rack. Yeah.
And those guys
I don't know. I feel...
Those guys are like, yeah, you're not that good at music. You're just a good hang. You want to be a part of it. Hit the gong. That was me and my buddy Butch. But then you had all the vibraphone players. And they were like also the kids that were in all AP classes.
Yeah, that checks out. It's an interesting bag for sure.
Let's see. Can I guess what you play based on what you've told me thus far? This is something that I think now is becoming a tradition in the show. I've met other people associated with band class. I think we've talked to other marching band directors.
Yeah, you've had at least, when I started listening a couple summers ago, you had at least 2 or 3 on before then.
And I believe one of them got on twice organically, if I remember right.
Yeah, something crazy like that.
Based on your vibe, I'm going to say I've got some weird guesses. And I'm
ready.
I might not be right. I think at least stereotypically, a lot of people might associate this as an instrument that guys tend towards more. Obviously, there's no instruments that nobody's allowed to play, but you think of the trumpet as something that guys tend towards more. But there's a part of me that almost feels like you were a badass trumpet player who could throw down both marching band style, but also jazz.
Hey, yo. Did you have another guess, or was that your only guess?
There's weirdly a part of me, that would insult you. Never mind. That would insult you. There's no way you'd become a band director if this was all you played, but there's also a part of me that's like, did you play cymbals? Were you the person playing the cymbals?
Honestly, I hate playing cymbals because I always tear a hole in my shirt.
Because you're going too hard at them cymbals?
Yeah, it's a problem.
What did you play?
I play French horn.
French horn, as you previously said, all the smart geniuses.
Yeah, I was a gifted and talented burnout. It's like where you send all of them.
French horn's a beautiful instrument.
Thank you.
Clear tones. Clear, bold tones.
Yeah.
That's what I think when I think French horn.
I was very good at it while I was in high school and college, but I honestly didn't really enjoy playing my instrument. I just liked being in band, and that was how I did it. So that's why I'm a band director.
So you were in it more for the hang, more for the camaraderie.
Well, not even that. I just liked making music. And if French horn was the thing I needed to do, then that's what I was going to do it. But I love making music and making music with other people.
What's the relationship with music like outside of it being your teaching job? Do you play music out in the wild as well?
I don't. The area I live in is not really a big gig area. I do like Christmas church gigs every year. I was in community band last year, but I don't really seek out to play French horn anymore. So most of the time I just like to teach it.
Are there other instruments you dabble with?
Oh yeah, I play everything except bassoon.
Everything except bassoon. You can play any other instrument I can think of in a traditional band except the bassoon.
Yeah.
Flute.
I like it. Yep. I teach beginning flute and clarinet. And so then from there, you also branch to oboe and bass clarinet and saxophone. And so I do all of those. Even when I'm a brass player, that's, I just keep the woodwinds because why not? And then I was originally a trumpet player. So you were kind of right with that. Like I started on trumpet. So my older sister was a French horn player.
I knew there was some trumpet vibe in there. I knew it. Just a certain
it's the
swagger.
bossy. Yeah, it's the bossiness. But I'm not a world's greatest trombone player, but I can play up to like at least an 8th grade level. And then I really like to play the euphonium a lot. It's a lot of fun, and I can transpose it pretty well, so I can play any instrument's part on it. And then I can play the tuba, but I run out of air because I have asthma.
You have asthma?
Yeah. Not like, I need my lungs for my job or anything.
That's a bummer. How often does it affect you?
Not that often.
That's good.
It was more in high school than as an adult. I just make the joke a lot. Out of all the things I picked to do, I probably shouldn't have picked the job where I need to use my lungs all day.
How old are you? You're a few years out of grad school. You said 40. So what are you, like 27, 28?
Somewhere in there.
What's that?
Somewhere in there, yeah.
You're going to be totally fine in regards to the FeetFinder guy. And you're still young enough that it will become the best fucking story that you get to tell for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Have you had moments where you told people and you're all crying in laughter? Have you gotten to that point of healing yet or no?
Oh, yeah. I was there by the end of October. So it just took about a month and I got over it.
Do you have a friend group that you can call and be like, so guys, I'm single now and wait till you hear why? Do you have those people in your life?
Honestly, it's been really fun to and I shouldn't admit it, but it's been kind of fun to like talk to the people that we were mutually friends with and be like, you'll never guess what this motherfucker did.
So you've gone scorched earth. You are winning every battle for friends.
And like his friends still reach out to me, like they like my Instagram stories. We like Snapchat each other. And they know exactly what he did. So
did any of them
they picked me in the divorce?
Well, I was going to say, you know, there's that cliche, you pick who do you pick in the divorce, but there's also probably friends who heard about it and were like, hey man, I know this must be tough for you too. So if you need to lean on somebody, I'm here for you. And they're just like in their head, like, please don't take me up on it. Please don't take me up on it. Please. And then he's like, yeah, actually, I'd love to talk more. And they're like, now I got to hear about the intricacies of this fucking FeetFinder shit. FeetFinder.com. I'm about to learn more about FeetFinder.com than I ever imagined.
Yeah, it's been pretty wild. I think truly so obviously I became a band director because my band directors were so great and they made my band experience so cool. And like, it felt like such a home for me. And so I think it was full circle when I got to see my old band director and I got to tell him at the end of October. And I got to tell him what FeetFinder was.
Did he know your ex?
It was, he didn't know him personally, but he knew of him because we're from the same area.
Damn.
So, yeah, it was so funny. It was so good.
I'm glad you're doing pretty okay.
Yeah, some days are better than others, but honestly, I really dodged a bullet with that one. So all's well that ends well.
Where do you live? Do you live by yourself?
I do live by myself, and I have a dog.
That's pretty sweet. You live
What
by
do you mean
yourself
by
and you sleep till 4 p.m. some days. Sounds awesome.
Oh my God, yeah, it's fantastic. My dog, she can make it 15 hours without having to go outside. Oh, I said the word. She just head tilted at me. Come here, Mama. But she just lets me sleep. So she doesn't really care.
You got any travel plans coming up this summer?
I may go visit my parents. They live across the country. They live in the South. I'm gonna go visit them, but
did you
otherwise,
did they
I'm
move
kind
or
of
did
just
you
chilling.
move?
So I moved to college out of state, and then when I was halfway through college, they moved across the country.
So did they even know FeetFinder?
What do you mean? Who he was?
It sounds like in the time you were dating
what?
that it was it was long distance between you and FeetFinder, and then your parents also lived far away in a third area.
Toe sucker. We call him toe sucker.
What's that?
Yeah, we call him toe sucker.
Toe sucker. Oh, I'm so sorry. We don't want to insult all the other
That's okay.
FeetFinders in this world. The ethical FeetFinders shouldn't be crossed over with this toe sucker. So toe sucker lives in one location. You live in a different location. Your parents are in another location. Did they know? Had they even met him that many times?
Yeah, my parents come to see me a lot because they both actually work. They work based out of the state that I live in and that we're from, but they just live far away. And yeah.
Got it. So they were pretty well acquainted with the toe sucker. Oh, we won't do that.
Yeah.
So they were pretty well acquainted with this toe sucker.
Yep.
Dang.
Yeah. They liked him. Right, Needle? Yeah. My dog just jumped on good. Okay, so I'm trying to plan what I'm going to grill tonight. If you were going to grill anything for dinner, what would you pick? Because I've been on Walmart.com looking all day, and I just have no clue.
What I would do if I were you is this. You get a nice portobello mushroom, clean it down real good.
Ew.
Nice, simple recipe you mix up. some oil, some vinegar, chop up some onions, chop up some garlic. You mix it all together in a bowl. You put a whole bunch of that mix in the mushroom, and you put it on the grill. You let it marinate for like an hour. You just don't touch it.
You really lost me at mushroom.
Well, I'm just telling you what I would do.
Okay.
Never mind.
What do you put with your mushroom?
Never mind. My enthusiasm for this has been extinguished by your aggression.
My bad.
That's okay. Why? I would also, you know what else is good? You take a pepper, you cut it in half. You put some layers in there. Like you almost make like a 7-layer that you put. Here's a layer of refried beans, layer of cheese, layer of guacamole, layer of cream cheese. You almost do like a 7-layer dip inside a pepper. You throw that on the grill.
Like a bell pepper? Or would you use a different kind of pepper?
I don't know. It would depend on what looked good at the store. But a larger one. I mean, it's serving as a vessel for this melted gooey mess inside. So you want it to have some heft.
Yeah.
Why? What are you going to grill?
I love to grill. I don't know. I'm kind of stuck. I feel like I make a lot of Caesar chicken, or I'll do like squash and zucchini or asparagus. So I feel like I need something a little different from that, but I just can't. I don't know.
Did you notice that when you listed the things you wanted to eat, I didn't jump in and interject with the word ew at any of them?
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Have you ever heard the phrase yucking your yum?
Yes. Mushrooms just really freak me out. But if you want to eat them, that's okay.
I grill a mean portobello mushroom. That's all I'm saying.
That's wild. I'm here for it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry that it was so offensive to your sensibilities.
So anyway. What's your favorite color?
My favorite color?
Yeah.
Asked me that on the show before. It's yellow. Always has been.
Oh.
What's yours?
Oh. Gray.
Gray?
I think so.
That's fair.
Do you have any summer travel plans other than shows and teaching and all of the regularly scheduled things? Like, are you going anywhere for fun?
We're supposed to hang out with my friends Keith and Bethany and their family. Hallie wanted to drive all the way down to South Jersey and go camping in an RV. But I know that multiple people involved in this trip snore, and it would involve 4 children sleeping inside one RV. 4 adults and 4 kids, one RV.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I think there's a lot of romance to the idea. I also think that 4 children and a bunch of snoring adults means that we'll spend a week in an RV where I'll never sleep and will descend into grumpy madness. So I'm trying to see if Hallie might be down to just maybe rent a house somewhere where we can have separate rooms and actually get some sleep. But it's one of those conversations where I don't know and Hallie's also been extraordinarily busy. So I don't know if it's going to be received with, oh, you want to take it off my hands. That's so nice. Or if it's going to be received with, why are you trying to change this plan I'm enthusiastic about? That's kind of a dick move. Like, it's right on the tightrope, and I get it. So I'm hoping it goes the first way.
Yeah, that's valid.
Because I think I can take it off her plate and successfully plan. And also maybe twist it towards something that I would like a little bit more. Not that I wouldn't like that, but I probably wouldn't like that.
Yeah. That's valid. I think she'd probably be grateful.
If I can, a lot of it with me, it's funny because on this show, I'm a very good communicator. In real life, like everybody, I am sometimes complete putz,
Put it in a chat GPT. See what it says.
Go to chat GPT and say, how do I talk to my wife? I think I'm going to probably just try to talk to her. There's people doing that all over the world right now, aren't there? I know. I have a friend who he was talking with ChatGPT about how he doesn't think he wants to marry his girlfriend or have kids with her. And she found all the logs. He was getting advice from ChatGPT. And she broke up with him.
Wild.
But he was using it as almost like a therapist, like a half diary, half therapist. There's going to be more and more stories like this in the world moving forward. Also, just shouldn't be outing someone else's business. But it was interesting. Our time's up. This was one of my favorite calls. For real.
No way.
Yeah.
I thought I really pissed you off about the mushrooms.
Well, the mushroom thing, it was a little aggressive, but in general, I felt like you had real honesty and then also a very entertaining ability to switch topics with no notice first, which I enjoyed. And for someone who's been through something that was like sort of traumatic and sort of embarrassing, you're also handling it so well. And I'm glad that you're already getting to the point where you're laughing about it and talking with friends about it and moving on, and that you got a new partner, because this guy doesn't deserve, I imagine it was very traumatic, but it doesn't sound like he's a person who deserves any of your time and attention in the way that could potentially spiral on this one.
I'm going to cry. That was so kind of you.
Well, it's all you. You can hear in your voice that you've already moved on, but it's like, yeah, like not kink shaming, not judging anybody for what they want to do in the bedroom, but it just sounds like, well, this was, you weren't ready to speak honestly about it. It also sounds like you have some other issues, and what do you do except that one burned down and moved on? Jesus, it sounds like you're doing really good.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Are you down to hang out behind the paywall and answer some questions?
Absolutely.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. We're going to say goodbye to everybody on the free feed.
Thank you.
Caller, sincerely, thank you so much for calling up and telling us, A, about some things that are hard to get into, and B, doing it with an energy and sense of humor that is pretty remarkable based on the fact that you're the person in it. It does not go unnoticed. And I thank you so much for sharing and being open and honest. Thank you to the High Priestess, Andrea Quinn, for producing the show. Thank you to Shell Shag for our theme music. Thank you to everybody who's been listening. Thanks to everybody who signs up at beautifulanonymous.com for our extra stuff. Thanks to everybody who's in the Facebook group, Beautiful Anonymous, the community. Thanks to everybody who follows us on Instagram and TikTok. Thank you, basically, to everyone. We'll see you next time. This week on Beautiful Anonymous Plus, here's some of what you'll get from the 5 questions. There's marching bands doing the music of John Williams every goddamn year, right?
There is. And the rights are so expensive.
Are they really?
Yeah.
And here's where I come in with the stand-up cymbal. I was the guy on the sideline with that cymbal, with that little shimmer on the cymbal. Don't forget to sign up for Beautiful Anonymous Plus at beautifulanonymous.com.